Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Let's go.
Iceborne. Hikuzo.
When are we gonna get Fireborn and Windborn and Waterborn and Dragonborn?
Dovahkiin. I want to Fusro Da Rathalos off a cliff.
There he is. There's John Dovahkiin.
John Dovahkiin.
Yeah. John Skyrim.
Mr. Dovahkiin, please. That's my father.
Oh, and Skyrim is a northern icy continent. And
Oh, God.
freaking... Alright, there we go.
Tom
yeah,
Howard,
Iceborne.
you son of a bitch, you've done it again.
Hey guys, did you know the O in Monster Hunter is supposed to be a monster eye?
Yeah.
Trivia. Whoa.
No way.
Nobody knows that.
Oh.
I don't believe you.
That's
I don't
okay.
believe you.
Hello, dev team.
Okay, who's your favorite developer?
I don't know. I don't know any of them enough to... Actually, him. I like him.
He's too clean cuts. I don't like him.
Yeah, he's so clean shaven. He's got something to hide. It's the cleanest ones who have something to
The
hide.
clean ones are the ones who stand at the top while all of the minions do the work and they never get their hands dirty. This guy looks like he gets his hands dirty.
I like this guy. I like this guy. He's got a faux
He's got
hawk.
a faux hawk, so he's adding a little style, but he's not fully clean shaven. He looks like he's in the trenches.
He looks like he would be awesome at Guitar Hero. I don't know why.
He does, actually. That's weird. Maybe it's a slight pudginess. The best Guitar Hero players are always slightly pudgy.
Yeah.
No one likes Ryozo.
Well, I mean, I like his expression at the World Championships. Aerial Great Sword.
I like that he's the leader of the bunch.
So wait, which one's got no style and no grace?
Oh my god, the clean-shaven one looks like Ryozo's kid, or is like his protege.
Yeah, he looks really young.
Yeah.
Which developer has a funny face?
All of them, they're all Asian.
Wow, I'm Asian.
God damn it, Jinx.
I am too.
Oh, that makes it okay then.
Exactly. Probably cut that bit out too.
Look at all those not Lagiacruses.
I forgot. Joe, please. Legiana.
Yeah, there you go. It's gonna be really confusing if they ever bring Lagiacrus and then people shorten it to Laggy. Look, all right, look at that. All right, hold on. All right, this thing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
looks
that
like
thing.
Toby Kenobi with wings.
It does.
Doesn't
Toby
it?
Kenobi.
I was actually saying it looks like a flying Toby.
What's up?
on
That's
stream.
probably a small monster, right? That's
Yeah.
gotta be a small monster.
That's the wing
It's a
drakes,
wing drake.
for this
Okay.
area. I mean,
I see.
part of it too though is that Toby's a flying squirrel with like a snake face. So
Well, I mean, yeah, but he doesn't have wings. He doesn't have dragon wings.
look, it's because this is another reptilian snake-based monster, but they wanted to reuse acids. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean that's fair, but yeah.
It's Toby Kenobi.
I have the high ground.
It's Toby. He always has the high ground. He can fly.
Yeah, he's flying.
Look, we proved that the high ground doesn't matter. Darth Maul had
But you can.
Darth Maul had the high ground, and he still
Apparently,
lost.
that was supposed to be like his arc, is that he learned from Darth Maul, but they didn't show that very well. But yeah,
Wait, are you saying that the original Star Wars franchise did a poor job with storytelling? No way.
no,
No way.
no. I'm saying the prequel trilogy had the original's fine. Well, the original has problems too, but anyway.
The original was supposed to be after the first movie, but
Go, little
Taking a
Palico.
sip of water on that one.
Going
look at the trails. Look at the
through the
trails.
snow.
That trail hype.
Mm-hmm. He's a big chungus.
Big boy.
Dead meme.
I got a tree.
I love all the pine trees all over the place.
Have a tree.
I was so hyped. Like the environment is
Oh
destructible.
yeah.
He breaks the
Well-
trees, and look how open it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's not tight corridors. It's like a
Wait, so you're saying
field.
so you're saying that the cover gets destroyed? Great, they're buff and bow again.
buff bow.
Yeah, I think people who are fans of classic Monster Hunter are gonna really like this map because it's way more open.
I can see that.
Yeah, this very much reminded me of those big plains in GU.
Which, I mean, I'm not... Some people, you know, they miss the, like, purely just you versus the monster, but I like the environmental stuff. I like both. I don't prefer one over the other.
I like having the option of it, even if you don't use it. There is a distinct lack of environmental strategies you can use in World. And, like, I would never really use them, but it's nice to have the option available.
Yeah.
You see, you don't use them because you're not Sword and
go.
Shield, and you don't have.
Well, I will after this.
F you.
Are they from?
Oh my gosh.
So how hype are you on a scale from 1 to 10? Because neither Jinx nor I have fought a Nargacuga.
6. Nargacuga's never been my favorite monster. And that's gonna be a lot of people are gonna be upset at that.
What about the prospect of like a Tigrex or a Barioth?
6 and 8 respectively. I've also not been a big fan of Tigrex.
You're a good man. You're a good man, Jocat.
What, just because I'm not
Barioth
giving
is
into the hype?
best. Barioth is the best.
I will say Barioth, I did fight Barioth in Try, and he was the first actual wall I ran into in that game, and he was a very fun challenge to fight.
I don't know.
So what do you think about Ice Kushala?
I think it looks cool. I no pun intended.
All the puns.
I think it's pretty rad. Also, this is a new Palico gadget.
Yeah.
Yes.
Revive.
I don't know how useful it'll be, but I mean, at least it's cool. It's good for people who don't have the.
Yeah,
access
I
to
think
it.
it's probably going to be used as like, kind of like, you know, the Vigor Wasp is like just like just like once, right? But sometimes people can miss it. I'm guessing this is like so that you can suck up a little bit and then leave the rest for like somebody else, which I think could be pretty cool.
It looked to me like a revive mechanic.
It's a full revive.
Because
it's a revive.
He fainted there and it's a full revive
Yeah,
there.
That makes sense.
Yeah, here, watch that again. Yeah, he's definitely dead. He does
he
the dead
faints.
animation.
I can even hear the pah sound in the background as he does it.
Oh.
Well, in my head, it's not actually in the game, in the video. I've just fainted a lot.
Yeah, that is the faint.
Very dead.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a full revive.
Wow, look at that.
So they're adding a revive gadget or maybe a revive. This, to me, what this suggests is that all the Palico gadgets are getting a next level. Because
I
like,
hope so.
The Palico gadgets have the base level, they have the secondary ability that unlocks once you power up, so this seems like a third tier to the Palico gadgets.
Oh, true. Yeah, that could just be an extension.
Yeah, I mean, it
of
was
the
a bigger
wheel.
wasp that
I
he
didn't
used
think about
there,
that.
so it's likely the other ones, like, I'm excited to see what Choral Orchestra gets, because that's the only useful one to
Oh
me.
yeah, Choral Orchestra's like the it's the only
Give me
one for
more
speedrunners or speedrunners.
Yeah, and I do hope that they get like stronger, because if that's like just its own thing, then that is way too strong, and the power balance is going to be totally off. Like, why would you use anything else?
Let's look at the basics first.
Or be like Jinx and I and just not run Palicos because they ruin
They ruin
RNG.
they ruin the monster AI. It's a lot harder to predict what they're gonna do and read the hitbox direction.
All right, and they're just talking about like you can buy the game with the expansion.
Yeah, let's buy stuff. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we can
All
watch
right,
it.
here.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we don't have
Master
to...
rank.
Master rank, exciting.
It's the new G rank, which will be a first time for me because I've never reached G rank before.
I haven't played previous games G ranks.
Yeah. Yeah, they usually add new attacks to the monsters, improve their AI, make them faster, buff them up.
G rank
generally-
for greater rank.
Yeah. More tough monsters.
So according to Soxy Bear, one of the
Sox.
UK representatives from Monster Hunter and Capcom, he said that the game is supposed to be on the scale of like a whole new game. So it's more like 30 new monsters instead of just 5.
This is supposed to be as big as a ultimate game, which ultimate games are huge, like way bigger than the base game. Yeah, but yeah, like if you compare the original Generations with Generations Ultimate and compare, it's not even a competition. Like how many, they added more than I think double the monsters. But of course that's Generations, that's an outlier.
I doubt they'll double the monster count. I hope they give us like at least 10 to 15 new monsters.
Oh, at least. They're definitely at least.
The assumption is Master Rank's gonna have, like, similar to AT versions of the other monsters, they'll have Master Rank versions of the monsters that give you new armor and also hopefully have different AI and attacks so that new fights.
Give me my G rank Odo.
It seems like Arch Tempered the Arch Tempered monsters they've been putting out, to me, are very much them prototyping how they're gonna handle Master Rank monsters.
That's exactly what they're doing, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Is there's going to be a master rank version of every monster. So yeah, look forward to master rank Great Jagras.
Look forward to master rank engine.
Wait, they'll master rank every monster?
That's what they do with G rank.
Yeah, that's what they do with G rank
okay.
in other games. They like remember when the first trailer came out, we were talking about the new Anjanath armor in there and everything.
Yeah, we saw the new Gyros armor, new Anjanath
Yeah, they've always
armor.
had like the G rank versions of the monsters. They give you the G rank version of the armors.
Which I hope this has got to be their opportunity to add transmog, like,
please,
as much as I like G rank armor, there's still sometimes when high rank armor I prefer the look, you know.
Please. Yeah, I mean, they even mentioned later in the video that the team working on the Monster Hunter World base game updates, so the ones who made the Arch Tempered monsters, Devil Joe, Luna, all of that, are working like in tandem with the Iceborne developers and feeding them information from the lessons they learned from developing and testing and the response from the community and everything.
Yeah.
So like, it just seems to me Arch Tempered is literally them prototyping Master Rank.
Yeah. And I do hope that they use this expansion as an opportunity to drop some major quality of life, like transmog and putting NPCs in the Gathering Hub.
Oh, please, yes.
That would be nice.
You want us to play with
I
friends.
mean, you could see that that's one of the most used mods.
I'm pretty sure that's
I'm
number
they're just
one.
I mean, I really hope that Capcom actually looks at the top ranking mods and mines them for features they can add in later.
I would be totally
like the
smart
light
thing to
pillars
do.
thing.
I would be totally fine if they just straight up ripped off some of these mods because they're just that good.
Or they could, hire a modder or something and be like, hey,
that would be neat.
We want to integrate your mod more cleanly as a base feature. You want to get a little paycheck for that? You want a little scratch?
Yeah.
A little panago scratch?
Freaking the highest. Here's some of the highest downloaded. Just to go off a little tangent, the highest downloaded mods on Nexus are Souvenirs Light Pillars, which is a quality of life thing. I don't think they necessarily need it, but it would be nice. I think an option would be cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice to find things.
Yes.
It does.
And that's at let's see, that's at 400,000 downloads.
Oh my goodness.
Monster Hunter World Transmog right behind it with 250,000 downloads.
There you go.
Sexy armor mods. We don't need that.
Sexy armor mod. Sexy armor mod. Sexy armor mod. Sexy armor mod.
Cuter handler face.
Naked armor mod. Naked armor mod. Naked
cute
armor
handler
mod.
face.
Cute handler face.
Cute admiral face.
DPS meter, which they're not gonna. And then at 115,000 downloads, improved NPC locations. It just puts them in the Gathering Hub. So I would be fine if they just like ripped off that mod and just put it in the game code.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, for Astera, in terms of an efficiency standpoint, it's really poorly done because all the NPCs are fucking scattered everywhere, but it does an excellent job in promoting the feel of Astera being like this central base in this completely new frontier, this wildlands that they live in, the new world. It does a really good job of just promoting and giving you that feel of the scope of the base.
Oh no,
it's the biggest
amazing.
hub they've ever had. Yeah, it feels amazing. It's just that once you're in the hundreds of hours of grind, it gets a little annoying having to run all the way over to the elevator to get up to the blacksmith, and then go up to the canteen to eat, and then go talk to the handler.
So having them all in a contained spot in the Gathering Hub can make that have a secondary use as well.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be like the blacksmith's up there. You just have one of his apprentices chilling up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got two of them sitting in the back.
Who just all they ever do is go, yeah, let's hammer some shit.
I like how the blacksmith's assistants have more personality than the handler.
Oh jeez.
Well, the reality is when you have a character that is just very energetically like a singular personality facet, like those guys, they're energetic guys who hammer stuff and are excited to make equipment. That conveys more personality than when you fail at providing subtle personality, which is kind of the problem with the handler.
It also depends on screen time. It's like the more screen time you have, the more you have to tone it down. Because if it's all 100% all the time, then it's gonna get tiring, and then you
just gets campy.
Result in something like freaking, I don't know, what's a really annoying companion character?
Navi.
Navi?
No, well, Navi Navi has no personality. Navi's purely information.
Roll from Mega Man when in her worst appearances.
I guess so, yeah.
Mega Man.
Every Sonic the Hedgehog game made after it went from 2D.
Yeah. Oof. Or like a lot of the Kingdom Hearts games where people just would not shut up.
Gorsora.
Popos are back. Yay.
Popos. I don't know what they are, but they look cool.
They're like Aptonos of
I am already apprehensive about this greatsword because it's another look, it's a piece of steel with a monster bit on it. Look, it's a piece of bone with a monster bit on it.
Isn't that just the wyvern jawbone with a different tooth texture and model?
Although I won't say your fears are unwarranted, the optimistic part of me wants to think that this is just the G rank version of the main bone line.
Yeah.
But
I still feel like they could have done literally any other way. Like,
well, the thing is, like, in every single Monster Hunter trailer, every single Monster Hunter game, the great
sword.
The great wyvern jawbone, the bone greatsword is the signature weapon they have on the hunter. Like, if you watch like the original Monster Hunter World trailers, you watch a lot of the trailers for previous games, like, it's the iconic weapon is the bone greatsword.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you because you look at I have the cover of Monster Hunter World in my hand right now, and it is in fact the bone greatsword on the cover. You know, there's a bow next to him too, but it is the bone greatsword. I get you, but
it's just this doesn't convey hope for the other models.
None of the other models in the game were anything in this trailer. None of them were anything but metal weapons with pieces of monster on it. They weren't anything unique. It was just the standard.
And
crap.
like a part of that I feel like comes down to like what does the development team decide to invest time into, because new engine can't reuse old assets. Like these things take a lot more time to develop, so do they put time into the mechanics, into the environmental design, into the monster design, into the AI, the movesets? Do they put time into the equipment? And like, while I feel like equipment may end up being a bit lower down on the list for them, just because the other stuff make up more cool gameplay, I feel like they really should consider how good they make the weapon models, because realistically, that's what you spend a large majority of the time looking at, because you're using it to fight everything.
But as another side of it, it isn't just Ryozo making a game.
Yeah.
It's not just
It's
Ryozo
Capcom.
who says, "Okay, I have 10,000 hours to make this game. I have to delegate my time into what is important." No, you have an entire art team and an entire model team that are doing things entirely separate from the mechanics team. And your art team, you have guys who do weapon design, you have guys who do armor design, you have guys who do monster design. Jocat, you know all about this. Like, you don't have one person.
Well, yeah.
Like, hell, even in the armor design team, you probably have a guy whose job is to sketch new armors. Then you have a guy whose job is to line art the new armors, and then you have the guy who has, whose job is to color the new armors. Like, everybody has their specific function. In a dev team.
Yeah, I just kind of look at it as like a division of resources in a development team, because even if you have like a team of, let's just randomly say, like 20 people doing model work for weapons specifically, with the limited budget you have, it's a question of whether you want to invest in adding more people to that team so they can do more complex designs that don't just reuse a lot of assets, or whether you put that money into more people for developing the code or developing the environments or other things. There's always a resource balance, and while it may, I don't know Capcom's books, so it's entirely possible they are investing as much resources as they see reasonable to put into this game, or they're not, but they do have resource limitations. But at the same time, I think they should probably invest a bit more into making more unique weapon models, because frankly, that was a big complaint of Monster Hunter World compared to previous games, and it's important to players.
Something I hope they do when they go in and do G rank, when they add a level 9 and maybe a level 10 rarity, every tree will get a unique model for the 9 and 10 based on that monster. Every tree. So it's not just this is metal thing with Anjanath bit on it. This is bone thing with Legiana bit on it. Like everything will be unique for the 9 and 10 depending on the monster.
Even if it's just a slight model change, like you just make a great sword that curves a little bit or that has like a slightly different hilt or something.
And I guess this is their opportunity. There are two possibilities of why this is happening. Not to excuse it, like you can. I also agree that I wish the weapon models were more out there and unique. We were talking about why it is the way it is. There's two possibilities. One of them, which is the more obvious one, that might or might not be the reason, is that this is just the direction they want to go, which, you know, you can disagree with. I disagree with it. And I wish that they still made crazy things like the fork and knife dual blades and the Poogie hunting horn. Freaking, there's so many. The pizza cutter charge blade.
I think for me, a big thing though is like, again, talking about the current, like the free regular updates for Monster Hunter World were in a way prototyping things for Iceborne. With a lot of the collabs and whatnot, they have made unique weapon models using that.
They
and
have.
my hope is that they will either at least reuse those assets, like, you know, use a dual blade base that is Zerial, for example, or use those assets, or use the lessons from that the teams working on those have learned to make some different base models for the same weapon type.
Yeah, and I was gonna say the other possibility is just like a little bit of what you guys were saying, resources, because game development is a lot of closing doors. When you open one door, about five other ones close. So odds are whatever resources that they decided to go without when it comes to making crazy unique weapon models, they probably put somewhere else, like maybe the monsters or this crazy beautiful environment, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just like,
they only
I'm sitting
have
here
so much
thinking,
time and employees and money to spend.
I'm sitting here thinking this is no longer just the best-selling Monster Hunter game of all time. This is now Capcom's best-selling game ever. If they can't shovel some resources into this cash cow, okay.
Well, we don't know. Like, you know, there's also the idea of they want to make sure maybe they have a very tight-knit team and they don't want to staff
dilute
up
it
more than they have to. Yeah, because, you know, like scope creep is a real thing that's a problem, and if you get a much larger team, sometimes some of them, you know, like it gets messier the larger the team is. So they obviously have a team that knows what they're doing and that they're comfortable with, and they're able to crank out this stuff in a way that I don't think, yeah, there could be improvements, but I wouldn't say necessarily harms the total package. And it's just, you know, some opportunities are going to be missed.
One of my favorite YouTube channels is Extra Credits, and
yes,
if you're familiar, like it's basically voiced by a different guy, but written by a guy who works as a consultant in the video game industry, and it's basically just a crap ton of videos giving you the stories, perspectives, and information from the other sides of the wall, from the game development side and design side of what it's like. And one of the most interesting videos was one of their career videos, talking about different careers in video gaming and talking about producers. Producers are the people who, they aren't developers, they aren't designers, they don't draw art, they don't make models, they don't code. Their entire job is to make sure the product ships on time. And one of the most difficult parts of being a producer is that you have to make the call to cut features even if you love them, if it means the game will be better and deliver on time. And that's just the reality of it, is that certain features and certain things have to be cut so that games can ship on time.
And and there's a statement out there somewhere about game development, and as I have been, not to toot my own horn and be like, I've made a couple of games, and I wouldn't say they're real games, quote unquote, but like I understand what they mean when they say you will never finish your game.
Yep.
It will never have everything you want it to have, no matter what.
Yep.
So like, yeah, it's a shame that they miss all this stuff. Like some of this stuff is disappointing, and like we would want them to have it, but like I think it's important to understand that like game development is a difficult balancing act, especially to this scale. Like this is a crazy complicated game. It's a marvel that any game gets made at all, and like I feel like it's not a big thing to sweat.
Look at you guys being the voices of reason. I just want to riot.
All right, well, you can. I'll make you a Molotov. I validate your feelings. I'll make you a Molotov cocktail. You can throw it at Capcom. Yeah. Where are my cool weapons?
Give me the weapons.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying though. Is like I feel like this would be a good opportunity to just give. Capcom sees that this game is very successful. This would be a really coul time to add like 9th and 10th levels. Just everything gets a new model.
And as the most sought after Monster Hunter World YouTubers on YouTube, obviously Capcom is going to go through our video with a fine-tooth comb and read and hear everything we say and pick up all of the suggestions.
Yeah. So pick up the slack, Capcom. Stop being so lazy. No,
Please,
sorry.
Capcom.
That's bad. Oh man.
Ryozo's literally gonna look at it and go,
"Wow, what assholes!"
I can't speak English.
Yeah,
but in Japanese.
There's gonna be a moment during the editing where I put up Ryozo's face from the World Championships in red, shaking, and he's just gonna see that part and then just like click back and watch it again. And watch it again, and watch it again, and watch it again as his face slowly turns redder and redder, and he remembers the reason why he hates the fucking players, but they pay his bills. Just kidding, we love you, Ryozo.
It's joke.
Thanks for the game.
I don't keep working. Work hard.
Work harder.
Slave. Oh.
Jocat, I don't know if you know about the Ryozo face, but basically, all of the speedrunners at the Invitational used aerial greatsword, like all of them, because it's the most efficient damage in the game.
Given the sets they were given, yeah.
Yeah, and he
Ryozo
was just
wasn't happy
super
with that.
pissed.
There's just there was just this picture of his like look of disgust. Like in the background behind the casters, he just has this look of disgust as he sees like the third aerial greatsword in a row go up.
I feel for him. Poor Ryozo.
Poor Ryozo.
Anyways. God, I love that.
Yeah, the trailer's really cool.
I like that they're patting themselves on the back, rightfully so. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, that looks amazing, doesn't it, team that I work with? It's like, yeah, it does.
I am
Look at the
super
thing we did.
excited for hot drinks.
Yeah, hot drinks. Neat. Yeah.
Or you can just use the, millions of Zen you've accrued getting to master rank to buy some.
Buy hot drinks, yeah.
What do we think about the name Hoarfrost Reach?
I think we shouldn't be judging the Frost Reach, and that they should have they should be free to live their life as they so wish without being called bad names.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
I was about to say, there's going to be a lot of slut shaming. And slut
You're
jokes.
right.
Yeah,
I don't think we should. I don't think we should kink shame them.
Oh, we're not going to king shame them. I'm just going to make licking sounds every time I say it.
Oh God.
Yeah, popos.
The Hoarfrost region.
Oh, look at them.
Can
Oh,
we
that
pet
butt.
the boys?
No, unfortunately.
I mean, you can with your sword.
Yeah,
Just give him a little,
it's just a very
just
rough
give him a
pet.
little tap on the butt with the side of your greatsword.
Oh look, no new endemic life to capture.
More pets! Yes!
More
Finally!
pets.
That's the real end game. Look at this.
What,
Look
the
at this.
Jinjinoku wasn't good enough for you?
I need to know if
Jinjinoku
that
enough.
if that how big that snowball gets. I
Oh.
need to know how big the snowball gets, and if you can make a snowman in Iceborne.
Dude, watching this on stream was really funny because everyone in chat was so upset that he kicked that
kicked it?
beetle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pissed too. I was like, what the.
Don't kick the dunk beetle. Or the
I
first
like these
beetle.
wing drakes. They're like Tobies and a mixture of Toby and like tiny laggies.
Flying Toby. Oh, you're right. Those
They-
are laggy wings.
Yeah.
Look at Capcom reusing assets again. It's not like there could be some sort of evolutionary split off for all of these monsters. Nah, it's just lazy programming.
What I used to call lazy, nowadays I call a smart use of resources and
Efficient?
efficient. Yeah.
So there's a trope in Japan that monkeys like to hang out near hot springs.
not a trope. That's a real
But
thing.
yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's a pretty common thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be amazing if we had Rajang hanging out in a
Oh
hot spring?
no! Yes, please. Yes, and also no.
Yes, but also no. Thanks. I hate it.
Look, if there's a Rajang hanging out, like what I want to have happen is Rajang hanging out in a hot spring, but he doesn't aggro if he's chilling in the hot spring.
Right.
And so you can sit in the hot spring with him.
Right.
And then I'm going to make a video about it, and I'm going to cut the scene from Wrath of Asura, where he's chilling in that hot spring with the big muscle dude, and just stick Rajang's face on it, and then make an anime cutscene out of it.
Yeah.
It'll be glorious. Please, Capcom, let me do this.
I think to animalize Rajang as well, which I think Monster Hunter World's done a very good job of making these monsters animalistic and giving them all these interactions with the environments and just like things to characterize them, you know?
Yeah,
and I
definitely
think
agree.
this would be a perfect opportunity to put Rajang just chilling out like you would.
Yeah, he's just a monkey in a spring, man. He's just a monkey in a spring.
Yeah.
It's a monkey chilling in the spring, and then you slap him in the back of the head because you're the asshole.
Yeah, because we are the assholes in this game.
Well,
Oh my
because,
god.
surprise, surprise, we are the villains.
Yeah. Quick, a beautiful creature of nature, kill it!
But it's okay
Before
because it's for science. It's for
Before
science.
it
Have you
continues minding its own business.
Jocat, have you read that Tumblr post or whatever that was, I want a game where you make harder and harder decisions, and as you go further and further in the game, your decisions get darker and darker and darker until the end of the game, you're holding the controller with your head in your hands, and you realize you've been playing the villain all along. That's Monster Hunter.
I think that's called Undertale.
I think that's called Spec Ops: The Line.
Oh, God.
minus
Yeah,
a lot of the
that was a
choices.
good game.
Spec Ops the Line, yeah.
Oh, it's such a good game.
Alright, back to Monster Hunter. Hot springs. And look at those
Yeah.
those little beetles.
And then they got little
Ah,
monkeys
they're little
too.
monkeys. No, those are little monkeys. Those
Oh,
little
they're
monkeys.
just curled up. Oh,
Yeah, they're curled up monkeys.
Oh, monkeys. Squirrel monkeys.
Look at
Look
him.
at him.
Look at him.
Oh, look at them.
More pets.
More pets
yes.
to capture.
Uh,
God help.
So anyone else notice how they have Furby faces?
A little bit.
We better get a relax emote, not just a sit, like a proper
Right?
lays back.
Actually, you know what would be really cool is if they had a special emote just for the hot springs where you actually get down into your underwear clothing and just chill in there.
Bikini transmog, do it.
We finally get swimwear
In
Yeah,
the ice,
for
yeah.
Iceborne. in the iciest, coldest map, we finally get the bikini.
It's time for the beach episode.
Everyone loves the beach episode.
Look at that sexy brute wyvern skeleton.
Or Baroth, I'm sorry.
New cast of monsters.
Lagombi.
Lagombi. If there's not a Lagombi in here, I'm gonna riot.
There isn't.
But no, I mean, not in this video.
But this is only, they're just showing off 4 months. Oh,
yeah,
in the
there's not a
expansion.
Lagombi in there. I'm going to riot.
Yeah.
Wait, when you say going to right, you mean you're gonna switch to League of Legends?
I'm gonna go to Dauntless.
Oh god, people actually want us to play that. I'm willing to give it a try when the content drought really hits.
So this is my favorite monster that they've
Oh,
shown
absolutely.
so far.
I love horns on armor. So I am really excited. I
Yes.
think they show off the female version of his armor at the end of it.
Wait, there was that dwarfish looking armor in the original trailer for Iceborne. I wonder
Yeah,
if
that's
his
that. That's
armor.
this.
Maybe.
This is probably no. They do show it. Yeah, this is the one from the image with a sword and shield guy, or whatever.
Oh, the armor? Yeah.
No, it's the guy with the hammer.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that he's got like the Viking.
Yeah, that's this guy.
I am so excited to see speedrunners iframe that.
Sword and shield back hops.
Oh, you know what's gonna be really cool? So combined with the mechanic they show off later with the grapple is gonna be your ability to evade that attack while potentially grappling to his head while he goes past you.
So I think it's really
That'll be
cool
fun.
that they've added an environmental differential. Like if he charges through a tree, he hits you with the tree, but if he doesn't, he hits you with a
Yeah,
boulder.
I love
Like,
that.
that's cool.
I love that they're really good at using the monster's anatomy for stuff. Like he uses his horns as a tool. It's rad as hell.
I just can't help but think about this in a speedrunning context, where wherever he spawns is the only thing you're ever gonna have thrown at you, because that's where they're going to kill him.
Oh, little ear wiggles.
Oh, look how cute he is from this angle. Look at him.
I didn't realize he
He's
had
the
ears.
cutest boy.
Yeah. He's a herbivore.
Oh, he's so cute.
Why do we gotta kill the herbivores, man?
Oh, for science, Tuna.
eat
For
the plant.
science.
Well, I mean, have you seen Diablos? Diablos. That's a
Yeah,
herbivore.
but Diablos is aggressive. Look at this guy. He's just
He's
chilling.
a calm
Yeah,
boy.
he's just hanging out.
And then you like slap him in the butt, and he's like, "Why do you slap me in the butt?" And then you cut him in the dick, and he's like, "Why you cutting me in the dick?" Throws a boulder at you to try to get you to go away, and then you're just like, "I'm gonna keep cutting."
So
What's
here's
the guy's name? Zestrios?
I
Who's
don't
the
know.
shark from GU?
Here's a. What's it called? It starts with a Z.
The inflatey boy.
Zinogre.
The
No, not
inflatey shark
Zinogre.
boy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Balloon boy.
Zamtrios, that's the one.
The other
Zamtrios.
Z
Yeah, this is
person.
Zamtrios' like skinnier, fishier cousin.
He's the one that went to. He's the track
let's
cousin
just-
who didn't sit at home and play video games all day, so he didn't get
Works
he
out,
didn't
yeah.
get fat.
This is just Giratodas done right.
Well, yeah, this is using. Well, this is like
It's
a
the Pisces.
plesioth.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah, this is a
Piscean.
plesioth subspecies. Like,
We
Yeah,
we
it's a
better get
Piscean
an actual
wyvern.
plesioth.
oh, where would it live though?
I mean,
Hot springs.
it's still technically on an island, so there is water next to it. It's colder water.
I
but
guess so, but I don't want to have to wait for it to swim in the water while I can't.
But yeah, this is Giratodas done right.
I think Giratodas is pretty good. It's just a weak monster.
There's
I
just
guess,
not
what
a
it suffers
strong-
Okay,
from.
it's
there you go. Yeah, I was
Lavasioth
gonna say
done
Lavasioth.
right.
Yeah, there we go.
It's Lavasioth done right, because Lavasioth was supposed to be the end game version of Giratodas,
Oh my god!
but it
Are
was
we gonna
very
need to
lacking.
use water expert for G rank Giratodas?
Hmm. I don't know. Considering
It depends on how much of a punching bag he still is.
depends if they have any other monster that goes in that environment, which I hope they do.
It depends.
I
if
think
it's
that would probably be a good place if they were to bring Plesioth back. I guess Plesioth could be in that environment as well.
Yeah. It also just depends on whether it's even worth fighting, like
Yeah.
worth running it, if he's actually challenging enough for you to bother running it.
Yeah. But yeah, I like this dude.
He's a good boy.
He's a good boy. Look at that. He's a good little angry boy.
He's like
Makes
like
me-
a good boy in the way that Odo Garon's a good boy, and then the other guy is a good boy in the way that Dodo Gama's a good boy.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have to do it. Baby shark.
God damn it.
do. Baby shark. Do. Pog.
You have no idea how hard I was preventing myself from doing that during the stream.
Let's do it a duet. 3, 2, 1.
Baby shark, do, 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 baby shark, do, do, do,
do. Pog. You know I've been playing too much Apex Legends when I say Pog.
He's a carnivore. Don't kill the popo.
It has to eat. This is how nature works, Tuna. You know, until a large group of humans decides to invade said nature and mess up the ecosystem and its delicate balance by mercilessly genociding the creatures in it.
Nah, we're part of.
Supposedly we're part of the balance, though. That's kind of like the story of Monster Hunter is that
We've been hunting monsters so much that if we stopped, then they would get out of control.
yeah,
Sounds
it's kind of like
justification, but okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is.
because I do just want to say, we are part of the ecosystem of deer. If we stopped
Yeah.
hunting
Yeah.
deer, there would be too many deer, and we would lose all of our crops because deer actually like to eat crops, and then there'd be a crop shortage, and then because corn is the basis for like 60% of the food in the United States, we would have a food shortage. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying there are
Yeah, this is just a different way of humans being
Part of the
humans.
ecosystem.
Yeah, different from our world. And yeah, it is totally justification, but it's a justification that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
That
it
and,
helps
the understanding of the ecosystem is also written by humans, so shrug.
Yep.
History is written by
I'm not
winners.
saying that the research commission and the guild, or also the monster hunting guild, is a large, giant political power manipulating not only the events of the war but also how they are perceived by the public.
Fluffy
That's
boy.
not a thing. That's
Yeah. What if what we're doing isn't actually what's happening? It's just like somebody reading this story to their children, and this is how they
I'm
perceive
not
it.
saying that that's what's happening. I mean, after all, that would be far too human and complex and deeper story and politics to be in a Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, but what if? Yeah.
This is all a story being read to a child. Like there's
Yeah.
just
Like, wow, this heroic hunter that's taking down the elder dragon and showing that it doesn't destroy the Everstream, and it's like, no, we just hunted it down to extinction.
oh, no,
Fan
I'm
theory,
sad.
fan theory, the Monster Hunter universe is actually the Princess Bride.
Well, you've seen the Nargacuga animation by NCH.
Oh, I was
have you?
actually gonna mention that.
Oh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing research on all these innocent animals so that we can research their children next.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do tons of research. Speaking of, here's Nargacuga. Fluffy cat bat.
Cat boy. He's a Jocat. He's a cat boy.
Yeah. There's only room for one cat in this environment.
And it's
You
Nargacuga.
yeed your last haw, Nargacuga.
You eat your...
Yeed your last caw.
Is it bad that I see this and mostly what I see is it's an Odogaron with tail attacks?
Yes, because it's a totally different skeleton.
It is, but a few of the attacks there were distinctly the same as Odogaron's animations.
Yeah, well, this came first.
Odogaron
okay.
is the copy.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing. They're both fanged wyverns anyway, so they're gonna share movesets.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of always been a thing with like Monster Hunter is that like the different classifications of monster often share the same
Here's your horny
few
boy armor.
skeletons. Oh boy. But yeah, share the same few skeletons, but where they distinguish themselves is how the like 20% of their moveset differs from each other.
Yeah.
Just kind
And
of how
also,
Monster Hunter works.
and you can also classify monsters as being like fast monsters or slow monsters and things like that. This is clearly in the fast category, which Odogaron is as well.
Which is good, because that's the only kind of monster I like fighting.
You like fast monsters?
I hate Diablos. Like, I hate the wind-up. I hate the preparation. I just give me Odogaron and let me reflex everything.
Tuna wants Twitch gameplay. Tuna don't want to be planning and methodical.
That's why I use Sword and Shield. I don't want to plan things. I just want to beat things.
Beat things back up.
React to every
But
situation.
yeah, Nargacuga, this should mean that we're probably very, very likely getting Tigrix and Barry.
Oh, I have a surprise for you at the end of this video.
Oh, okay.
A surprise.
New Elder Dragon.
Ice Kushala.
Ice
Ice
Kushala.
Kush.
Mint
Which,
Kush.
I
Mint Kush.
guess we can talk about this after. People mentioning the rumors about Alatreon,
Yeah.
because that also shares a skeleton with Kush.
Yes.
Yup.
Yes, we have to research those Elder Dragons.
So like, okay, real quick, this is another like kind of a tangent back to what we were talking about earlier about the whole ecosystem thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like, first off, we can't really make the argument that we're controlling and a big part of the ecosystem in the New World because we just fucking got there. But other than that, I do think an interesting justification for what we do and why we are murdering all of these other animals and whatnots and taking their parts to make better equipment is that we are very well aware of the threat that Elder Dragons pose to
Yes.
human society. But the only way we have to fight them is not through mechanical super weapons of our own design. I mean, even the Dragonator is the epitome of that in the new world, and it tickles Zora
Yes.
Magdaros at most. Like, the only way we can fight these apocalyptic beings that are capable of wiping out entire civilizations alone is by having hunters that have equipment strong enough and whose skills are honed enough through just hundreds upon hundreds and years of fighting these monsters and just developing and honing their skills.
That's exactly it. Like freaking Alatreon is a monster. I think pretty sure it's the final boss of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, which I never reached. But like the whole game builds up to that because there's a different Elder Dragon that's like messing with the like harbor town because it's being irritated by Alatreon. So it's like this chain of events that happen as a result of the mere existence of these Elder Dragons, which are so powerful that they, like you said, destroy entire ecosystems just by existing.
What was the story with Gore Magala, who had the infection?
Gore Magala, even worse so, was
the
Frenzy Virus.
Destroying the...
Frenzy Virus was causing monsters to kill other monsters, not for the sake of like surviving, but just killing them. Like it says, a frenzy. It goes in this rage and kills way more than it normally does. And, you know, it has, just suddenly has this,
It was giving everyone rabies.
Yeah, basically rabies, and having an unpredictable behavior that was messing with the environment actively. And like killing stuff, killing not just the animals but the plants too.
Yeah.
So that was oh my god, I love Gore Magala. It's such an amazing villain monster.
So yes, I suppose when we say we're killing these monsters in the new world for research, it's actually research into the Elder Dragons and how to defeat them effectively.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Because these things are fucking scary.
Yep.
Red Arcana.
It looks rad though. I
Yeah.
like the ice bits all over it.
I like how sharp and tiny and like feathery the ice is. Like it's not like chunks of icicle. It looks like actual frost.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not even the surface. This is not even scratching the surface for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here we go, Jocat. Be ready to
All
cry.
right, so this is what we talked about, new moves.
Be ready to cry with me, Jocat.
Yeah, you two are both gonna cry.
Yeah.
I've already shed my tears.
Rip Sword and Shield.
Buff Sword and Shield.
Give oils.
Gib oils. Gib oils.
Give oils. This is your chance.
They're gonna have to. Because they basically just nerfed Sword and Shield.
Like, look at that. That's a gun lance that just uses flash pod.
This is horse shit.
Oh no.
Okay, so real quick.
Uh-huh.
So I just want to ask, since you two are obviously the most sought after, influential, and in general respected Sword and Shield mains on all of YouTube, how do you feel about this change?
In all honesty, aside, like memes aside, I think this is a nice change.
Yeah.
It adds utility to all the other weapons that there weren't before. I'm sad that Sword and Shield is a little less special. I'm sure Sword and Shield is still special that you can still use items. I don't think they're going to change that. You can still use items while it's unsheathed, and that's not changing for the other weapons. It makes it less special that it's not the only one that can use Slinger, but I think this is a net good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing overall for the players. Like, no, don't get me wrong. Overall, this is a good thing. I hope they give us oils as a compensation.
I hope they give us anything. Even if it's not oils, I hope Sword and Shield gets something to, cause this was like the one extra thing, and now my freaking Sword and Shield video is gonna be dated. So I'm a little bit salty about that, but you know, like this is a good thing, and yeah, if not oils, something for the Sword
Well,
and
I've already
Shield.
kind of talked about how they could implement the system into World. Basically, look at say how Bow handles its files. Give the same kind of thing to Sword and Shield, where you have a menu system that you can scroll through with all your oils, and then you need to guard and then hit square or whatever, and then
You couldn't just make it like a regular item.
see. I feel like I don't know. I feel like it'd be more intuitive to have it as a bow menu than like an item, because then you'd need to carry the item with you, as opposed to just
I see.
Yeah.
Put it
I
in
mean,
your
'cause, like,
ammo pouch.
Yeah, it'd be the same as an ammo or a coating.
Okay.
in
yeah.
a
So it
sense.
sits in your ammo pouch instead.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that would make it better too, because it wouldn't take up an inventory spot.
Yeah, it separates the system. It streamlines it a little bit more, so you're not fuddling with all this. I mean, the radio menu,
buffs
the radio
oils.
menus are cool. The radio menus are cool, and theoretically, you could have your own separate radio menu because I don't know anybody who uses all four. Like, no, I don't know.
Plus, you can already put ammos and coatings and whatnot in the radio
Right.
menu anyway.
Yeah. I use all four, by the way.
Mad
Especially
man.
when I use bowguns.
But bowguns only use like 1 to 2 ammos.
Yeah, but I play fun, not efficient.
Nah, true.
I'm like the
yeah,
middleman between both of you. Jinx is just this hardcore math robot.
So,
Jocat just wants
Yeah.
to have
And I don't
fun.
even. I don't.
And I'm like in the middle where
Yeah, no numbers whatsoever.
efficiency is fun.
I ignore all the numbers. I'm just like, this looks stupid and cool.
where I'm like,
gonna
I
do it.
love to do the thing fast, but it's gotta look cool while I do it. Master Bang, best sword. I don't give a shit if it's bad.
How good would you say Master Bang is as a thunder sword?
It was the best until
It was the best, yeah, until
until
KT.
Colv. Okay, yeah.
But the issue is that thunder is the weakest element in Monster Hunter World.
Wait, how so?
because there's only two monsters that are weak to it, which is like what?
Yeah, like it is the most ubiquitous weakness, as in
but-
like if you take an average of the total like thunder hits and value of every monster in the game, it is the highest average, but it doesn't
Right.
have any. It only has very few high peak points.
Right.
Most
I
of them
see.
are like average or
Two-
above
2
average
stars.
weakness. Yeah. So it's just that there aren't a lot of matchups that it's very strong. It's stronger against compared to other elements. And on top of that, thunder weapons also, maybe to balance the fact it's the most ubiquitous weak point, have lower stats in general.
Understandable.
That's why, like, for dual blades, even though Nergigante is technically most weak to thunder, it's only a 15 hit zone value, so you're actually better off using blast or roar
I see.
if you want max damage.
Unless you're
against them.
doing
Also because blast is great against breaking parts.
unless you're doing a
Sure.
the Beyblade memes.
Yeah, unless you Beyblade meme, which is actually the world record, but...
Nice. All right, yeah. I hope they, I think me and Tuna are in agreement. This is good, but we hope for something for Sword and Shield. Preferably oils.
I wanted more angry memes, but okay.
I also think maybe it's a slot deco that needs to be used. So like you need to have it slotted in order to.
Oh yeah, I think that would be fair if there was like a deco, like a armor skill that was
Maybe
required.
even something like
Yeah.
okay here's
Be
how it goes.
interesting.
1 deco lets you use slinger. 2 deco lets you use items.
No, I refuse. No, never. No items for anybody. Nobody gets items.
See,
No items. Only Sword and Shield.
Here's my actual thought about it. Because they just say that these are slinger improvements, and so it seems to me like this is just them adding extra features to everything, and hopefully they give Sword and Shield something, because they're definitely they are most likely going to do some sort of rebalance update for weapons and hopefully add new stuff. I'm still holding on to the dream that they add stoils to the game. And my
Styles.
thought, styles. And my thought is that if they add these slinger improvements, that will be their equivalent of guild stoil. Of your just base moveset, but you have this slinger ability. And then you have to trade that out for having different moveset changes in different styles if you want to. Like, I'm still holding out. I'm still praying that they give a stoil where Switch Axe has some sort of defensive ability. Even if it's just replace your hops with rolls, I would be more than happy with
Switch
that.
X dead meme.
Yeah, I
I don't want it to be dead.
even though people say Styles isn't Monster Hunter, I think that it would. I like customizing.
I mean,
And I like customizing playstyle, and I would
exactly.
appreciate them.
Like, the reality is that if you have styles, there's always going to be a meta one. And of course, we're going to cover that if it happens. But adding styles gives you the ability to control your own gameplay experience and add a lot more variety to it. Just because
Yes.
Brave or Valor, what the f ever, in GU was the best style for pretty much every weapon, doesn't mean you couldn't use Alchemy if that's how you enjoyed the game more. It just
Yeah.
provides more variety and gives you more ability to play
Yeah,
the game.
and it's
you
only
want
the
to play.
best at like top level play,
Yeah, exactly.
which a
But
very minor size of the player base actually does.
Aerial is not good on anything, but it was still my
iframes.
favorite style in GU.
It's super fun.
Aerial Sword and Shield, which is it's funny because Aerial Sword and Shield in GU basically turned into the back hop falling bash style in World.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like that's the thing, like Sword and Shield is a unique weapon in Monster Hunter World, and that it has, for all the melee weapons at least, the most variety of playstyles. You have the raw Unga Bunga, which is your falling bash spam. You have Elemental SNS, which is your Sword and Shield slicey dice. And both are viable and top level and meta for different matchups. And they're both two different playing styles that are both extremely viable and top level, most importantly. But the thing is, every other weapon in the game doesn't have that option, even if you just want a raw versus elemental playstyle. Literally, the only difference is that you get bigger or higher numbers running raw or elemental.
Yeah.
The only thing that compares to that is Bowgun, where they have, okay, I'm going to do a normal style, I'm going to do a pierce style,
Yeah.
I'm going to do a spread style.
Yeah, but that's always been a thing with bowguns.
Yes, I think adding some form, styles in some form or another would do a lot to improve the amount of variety for playing pseudo-efficiently.
I mean, imagine if Longsword had a style where you replaced your Helmbreaker with, like, an alternate, let's say just, like, an alternate Spirit 5 or something, or Spirit 4, where instead of doing, like, instead of doing Spirit 4, you would instead do, like, an even faster multi-hit attack when you were at max Spirit level, which would, work better with elemental damage being flat damage per hit, instead of having access to the Helmbreaker, which is an entirely raw-focused move.
Yeah.
Like,
and
something like that would be very interesting.
And it changes up the playstyle again, because like every longsword plays the same, where you build up your spirit, you Helmbreaker, and then you build up your spirit again.
Yeah, and that's just the optimal way to play, and there isn't a good elemental style.
If you could trade off that Helmbreaker for a higher spirit, then that's a different playstyle. Yeah, that'd be neat.
Yeah, and like it's just tragic to me that there isn't effective elemental playstyles for other weapons other than Sword and Shield.
Maybe
and
we could get like,
Mm-hmm.
so you get a style for Greatsword that lets you do faster wild swing, or not the wild swings, but the swing move for the elemental, but like you get rid of
swings.
TCS or something. You get rid of the actual TCS, but you only have like the level 2 or something.
Imagine if you got rid of TCS, but leaping White Slash didn't have to tackle in between. So you could just leaping White Slash in a circle around them with an elemental greatsword. That would
just
be so
whirlwind.
much fun.
Yeah, so yeah.
Basically, just very slow whirlwind. It's Tryndamere at 20% speed.
Yeah. So yeah, styles would be neat.
Yeah.
Or something along the lines.
Yeah, like it's tragic to me that elemental is not encouraged in World outside of the specifically good elemental weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Robbo.
Dragon Piercer doesn't count.
Yeah, Clutch Claw. So this is, you can latch on to monsters now.
I am going to be
This excites me
maining
the
this
most.
move so goddamn much. Oh my god. I just can't wait to play Sword and Shield. I just want to play Sword and Shield.
So, like, this excites me so much because, like, they talk about how you have different options, like you can use slinger ammo and stuff, but they also show off, like, finisher moves you can do instead that are just, like, regular attacks. And this excites me heavily because this opens up a huge amount of gameplay and combat loop options for melee weapons. One big issue melee weapons have always had with big hitbox monsters like Deviljho is that because the hitboxes are so big, it's very challenging to consistently iframe them, so your best option is to like roll once or twice and get the out of dodge.
Mm-hmm.
The issue with that is that once the hitbox is no longer lingering and you can actually go back up, you then have to move that same distance again as quickly as you can to get any damage out during the opening.
That's why Sword and Shield's so good for speed running, because you can literally back away from the monster to miss their attack, and then you jump back onto them.
Yeah, and you have the insane iframes too, which just makes it even easier. Same thing with Longsword, but this gives options for, like, say, a Switch Axe or a Hammer of if a Deviljho does a tail sweep, you can roll back twice to get out of the hitbox of it, and then as it's passing by you, precisely land a grapple onto its head, go up to its head and do a quick finisher before it finishes the full animation. And, like, that gives you a lot more of that in and out potential for fighting that a lot of weapons simply don't have access to, and pretty much your main option is either to lose damage uptime or get good on iframe.
So Jocat, I don't know if you saw my
Yeah.
quote unquote review of Monster Hunter, but there was a moment that I talk about how in a lot of games you get quick time events for the cool scenes. Like you have a standard gameplay and then they show you an action scene and you got to do a cut scene, and it's like a quick time event at best, or worst it's just you watching a movie.
Yeah.
And how Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter in general have you play that cutscene.
You play that
and
thing.
this is just more of that, like, yeah, I mounted the monster in the face because I did that. Not because the
Yeah.
game pulled up a cutscene
it's really
and I
exciting.
hit square at the right time. I found the exact frame that the
Yeah.
monster wasn't moving while he's swinging his giant face at me. I mounted him and then punched him in the face with a dragon pod. Like, it's so cool.
Yeah, it's a really good addition. I'm really
And
excited for this.
Yeah, I also appreciate that this means that breaking monster parts is easier. Or more, not easier, but rather, like, you can have more control over breaking monster parts. Because, like, you can now directly get on the monster in the spot. Like, mounting, yes, help that. But, you know, sometimes you don't, like, it might not be in the exact spot that you want. But what it means, you can consistently reach, like, a tail to try and cut it, or, like, their arm to try and break it, when otherwise, let's say you were playing a weapon like Sword and Shield, which didn't have a lot of reach, and, you wouldn't be able to consistently hit it. This means that you have a little bit more control over that, and I appreciate it.
Also, what they're specifically talking about in here is that it gives you extra hunter actions as a way to control the monster. It's actually it's a really nice addition, because one of the realities of why bow and hammer are two of the particularly strong weapons in the game is that they have access to KO and CC. Like every weapon has access to CC in terms of flinching and tripping a monster, but that's it. Bow and hammer pretty much uniquely have access to KOing monsters even without impact mantle. And I guess in heavy bowgun as well, but you don't ever really use stickies unless you're playing a CC heavy bowgun. But this gives you extra options for that of, okay, I want to have some more damage uptime on this monster, I want to trip them over. Like, take Anjanath, for example. Anjanath is horribly difficult to actually get trips on, because his legs aren't weak zones until you break them, and you have to flinch them and then break them from the trip the first time. And then so few weapons have easy access to his head on top of that, which is the only real weak point you have to hit, because his tail's even higher. But this gives you options to fight Anjanath where you can drop him so you can actually focus damage where you want to focus damage.
I'm excited.
Me too, yeah.
Look at that shiny sword and shield stab.
Oh my god, Sword and Shield is going to be so much fucking fun. Oh.
I find it funny too, because when I first started playing Monster Hunter World, I was actually upset this wasn't a feature. Because, you can grab wedge beetles and stuff. 10 dragon
They were
pods.
talking about chain trapping, basically. It's like mounting the monster, then making them run into a trap. Like that. It's going to be so cool.
I wonder what's going to be the balancing mechanic to stop people from just, like, grappling and grappling.
Probably
and
DPS
grappling and
output,
grappling.
honestly. I doubt you'll be able to do that much damage with it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, and it seems like the knockdown ones are relying on slinger ammo. So you have to actually, like, get ammo in between the knockdowns if you want to use it for that. And most likely the motion values aren't going to be that high on the finisher moves from grappling onto monsters. And probably similar to, like... Also, just real quick, that mounting mechanic, that specific mounting mechanic does already exist on Switch X for the ZSD, but the ZSD is balanced by the fact that you can still be hit while you're doing it. That, and it's just worse than swinging at the monster, but...
Yeah, so this is a new thing. You can fire slinger shot. Because now all the weapons, because you use the slinger, you can apparently add the slinger shot into your combo.
Yeah, and I was while I was watching this, I noticed, because I didn't see it the first time, he actually has different... So he's got the sword down there.
Yeah, so that was a
he's got the
sonic
sword
bomb.
down because he did it after a slash. So he had one animation for doing it when the sword was down, and then this one has an animation with a sword on his back. So they actually have different animations
Yeah.
for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a level
That was
1
a level
charge.
1 charge slash. The slinger took the second attack in the combo. That means he skipped strong charge slash for that TCS. That's interesting.
Yeah. He's in TCS
This
right
wasn't
now.
this wasn't
Wow.
even like an in between attacks. This replaced the strong charge slash.
That's gonna increase the
Yeah.
speed of
That's
the,
interesting.
of the move. You could
TCS,
theoretically throw in
yeah.
like a dung pod.
that, I'm pretty sure that was
You
less
could
frames than a
theoretically do
tackle.
it like a dung pod, which does work,
Or just a
or
stone.
like a stone, which is viable in TA. Like you can still use stones, right?
Assuming they don't change the rules, but yeah.
If they change the rules for every little thing that comes out, then TA is just stupid. Bleh.
I mean, that's what
But
they've
yeah,
been
this
doing.
was
Yeah, like that actually that wasn't even like an in between the combo thing that replaced a move in the combo. That's interesting.
And this was after his kind of wide sweeping slash.
Wait a second, is he TCSing right now?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. So he does the wide sweep, like the circle move. Yep. And then TCS, yeah.
Wait, that skips 2 moves in the combo though.
I wonder if you always TCS after that move then.
Yeah.
Well, he stopped.
Yeah, he stopped.
He
entirely.
stopped. He stopped attacking after that. Look, so he fires. He slashes.
No.
That's Level
See,
2.
Real
Fires,
quick though.
and then he just stops. And then he
He
walks.
does, but okay. So in that one, he did a tackle into a strong charge slash.
So level 2.
Yeah, level 2, and then he flash pods. Potentially what happened here is the flash pod replaced the TCS in the combo here.
You think so?
That would have been the perfect
Maybe,
time to
because
TCS.
because it
so
replaced-
I'm sure it did replace it entirely.
Exactly, so... Yeah, because it looks like he doesn't even... Like, unless he completely missed the input. I'm still trying to figure out how that TCS happened, because you can do a wild swing tackle, but that just brings you to a strong charge slash, not a TCS. So I'm still not... I'm still trying to wrap my head around how this mechanic exactly works in terms of replacing
It's
moves.
probably something where you can get into the true charge slash by using the combo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm guessing it skips whatever your next move is. In this
just-
case, would have been the TCS.
It's just that for the wide swing into pod into TCS, that doesn't fit in the combo progression.
Right.
So that's what's kind of tripping me up right now with this.
Or maybe there isn't a consistent thing. Maybe it's just different for every
Or
move.
maybe they added a new pathway because they're talking, making new moves and stuff.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they changed their movesets
Yeah.
as well.
Need more data.
Need more data.
Look at that
Not
dodge
enough in
though.
those 3 clips. That is pretty...
Wait, so that looks very, very...
Yeah, you can
Adept
fire the
style.
pod while you're evading now. Like, look at that shit.
Oh, okay.
Look at that,
All right.
look at that.
I thought that was just a regular evade. Okay. That's cool though.
It seems to have a lot of iframes though.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'd have to like actually look at it frame by frame, but it looks like it has a lot of iframes.
To me, it just looks like they
It's so
get out of the way before the attack happens.
Well, the first hit looked like it had a lot. That is cool though, being able to weave in the slinger grapple mid combo.
Now, so they mentioned multiple
Enhancing
mods.
the gimmick.
It wasn't they said multiple mods. So
Yeah. So I'm guessing more mods you have of this.
yeah,
the, more
the
ammo you
issue
can get
that I
while
was
sliding,
talking about
maybe?
with Jinx
Yeah, that's what they
is
say.
that you can't use this as a main mechanic because a double dash on light bowgun is about the time it takes to reload. Yeah.
It's probably longer actually.
Yeah,
if you have,
so-
at least a normal reload.
Yeah. I guess so. I think the benefit comes from the fact that you don't
Yeah.
have to sacrifice mobility.
Yeah, the main issue it really comes down to is like whether it ends up being worth using or not over just reloading, because like there are weapons like the Joe Light Bowgun use a slow reload, so this could potentially be good for that. But the real issue comes down to just mod efficiency, because it's a question of whether sacrificing the damage affecting mods you have on your bowgun is worth running this or not. Because like if, for example, let's just say theoretically the 10 rank or 9 rank version of the Joe light bowgun has 4 mod slots, you'd probably be using 2 recoil and then 2 close range mods. That second close range mod is with a 10% damage increase, which is a lot, and it might be hard to justify adding this mod in instead.
I think it would be better if it was the first rank does 3 bullets, the second rank does 5 bullets, so you add 2, and then the third rank adds 6, so it just adds 1, and then everything after that just adds 1. That might seem like it'd be worth it.
Yeah, if it was a good chunk, but if it's just 1 bullet per mod, I don't know.
Which sucks, because this looks so cool. This literally looks like the sickest shit.
Maybe it'll be... I think, just like the other mods, it'll depend on which light bowgun you use, maybe.
Oh, entirely, yeah. Like, if you were talking about, like, for example, the KT shot light bowgun, the R8, that one you pretty much just generally run 3 damage mods on it, and the third damage mod is only worth 5% damage, so it's not
because
that
let's say you have a really strong light bowgun, but you can only hold like 4 spread shots. Like if you can reload all 3 of them with a single slide, then that's a little.
If you can reload all 3 of the Joe light bowgun with a slide instead of a slow reload, yes, give me that now.
But if it's like what I'm saying is it might be too strong if that's with just a single slide mod.
True,
I would think that they would need more.
It's a PvE game. Who cares if it's overpowered?
Right. Well, yeah. I want to be powerful. Yeah.
And like the issue is that the other mods you get in there are so impactful. So like they are already powerful. Mm-hmm. Like even running 2 recall mods to get a +2 recall instead of +3 is a huge boost in power in the spread spread 3 light bowguns, which is why we run it, even though it costs 2 whole mods.
And the thing is, it can't be more powerful than reload speed. Because if it is, then there's no reason to use reload speed.
Then just reload speed.
Or if it's as powerful as reload speed, but you get mobility as well, then like, yeah. I don't know. It's not a thing that I have a lot of knowledge in, because I don't think any of us can really talk about balance. I don't know. Maybe you guys can, because you actually know data, but I don't think I'm qualified to talk about balance. I just think it's cool, and I like it.
I mean, I can talk about the numbers, but even then, like, we don't know what the top rank light bowguns are going to look like and how the mods will affect it.
So if we want to talk about balance, right? So we're talking about, we're talking about you have a Joe light bowgun with spread 3, and you have recoil mod, 2 recoil mods, and a close range. And that's your standard thing where, you're running that. And then you have this light bowgun that has the reload thing, and let's say it's my idea where it has 3 bullets for 1 dash. You end up having to dash twice to reload once. You're going to end up taking longer to reload that thing by dashing as opposed to just reloading it outright, which is a slow reload. But
still,
you're also, if you're using this as your main reload mechanic, because it's slower, it's cooler, you have mobility and you have iframes, but it's slower, you're putting out less damage while you're doing it, which is a valid trade-off. You're a little bit safer, you are able to position a little bit better, but you are not putting out damage while you're doing it, which is a fair trade-off.
Yeah, plus also sliding to reload every time messes up your positioning, but
you want it to be you want the trade-off to be worth it.
The trade-off kind of needs to be you gain mobility as a result of doing it, but it's going to cost you damage as opposed to just doing a reload because of the animation time. Because it's just like, if it's only 1 bullet per, like, yes, if you're hopping around a lot because it's a particularly aggressive matchup like Odagaron, maybe it's useful then. But it's just not worth doing that instead of reloading unless you have a slow reload, because that means you can't move. But most light bowguns run a normal reload. The Joe light bowgun or the spread 3 light bowguns are unique in that they have to run a slow reload. So like, it just doesn't seem because you can still reload while moving anyway, so you're still fairly mobile.
Yeah, I guess we'll know more once we actually get to play with it.
Yeah, I'll be doing a whole bunch of testing with that.
This needs practice.
If they can make it work, though, I'm going to be excited, because now not only will light bowgun have really cool animations with like lots of mobility and lots of good range, but then if they're able to use the slingers as well, like, I mean, I already use light bowgun as my second main because it's so fun. Like, it's just.
I was just gonna say, I like that they're leaning more into just continuing the gimmick of each of the weapons, like how dual blades can fit in the slinger into their combo and weave in and out of combos because it's a combo weapon. And like how...
And it's kind of a big deal too because reach is a big issue, but this
Yeah.
also allows you to access, weak points that get out of your reach by weaving in grapples.
And how light bowgun gets a thing that adds mobility because it's the mobile bowgun, you know. I love when they do that.
Yeah.
Stack on the gimmicks.
And I was just gonna say, like, Tuna, like, light bowgun is his secondary main, and for me, literally the way I got started in doing Monster Hunter math was once when I started messing around with heavy bowguns, like, recoil reduces the fire rate and reload reduces the reload times. I wonder whether it's more worth it to reduce your animations or add flat damage mods. Let me calculate this. Okay, now I'm frame counting. Okay, now I've made the giant spreadsheet. Okay, now I've made 10 giant spreadsheets about this. Like, literally the way I got started and the origin of the channel was from me calculating bowgun math. And that's part of the reason why I'm a little concerned about this mod, because just purely mathematically, they have to make sure they make it powerful enough to actually even be worth sacrificing the core mods we stick on our bowguns anyway for damage.
Right. Yeah. Totally agree.
Rajang. Oh boy, the fun parts. Yeah, just to clarify, that release date's for console.
Yeah.
Luckily, though, the PC version is coming out in a shorter amount of time than the original Monster Hunter, like the difference between PC and console.
True.
Well, maybe. Yeah, but 9.6, 3.6 is technically 6 months later and is still in winter.
That's true, yeah.
Hopefully they mean before New Year when they say winter.
Hopefully. I hope that's what they mean.
Jocat.
Oh, look, it's Dark Souls.
Yeah, Dark
I
Souls.
was telling Jinx how... Because you know me and my armor sets. Like, I protect the wife. I protect the waifu. And Jinx is decidedly the opposite of that. Because I told him when I saw this, like, that's the only armor I'm gonna be wearing because I gotta protect my waifu. Oh, in before the female version of this is like a crop top with chainmail bikini. I would be pissed because those fucking legs. I want that on everything.
It does look nice. Yeah, and you can buy a bundle.
Bundle.
As opposed to a minimal expansion DLC.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and this is returning armor.
I want that hat.
Yeah, this is an old classic armor set. That's really rad.
Actually, I say I want the hat, but realistically, I'm probably gonna put on the hat and use it for a few hunts, and then remove it because it's clouding up my animation reading.
Assuming that these are all separate pieces, it's not just a total layer change. I could see using that chest armor a lot. It looks comfy.
Yeah.
But Gala.
Yeah, so like they're implying that they're gonna try and release it faster than the initial release of Monster Hunter.
March 6th would still be winter, and it would be 6 months later. So, I mean, I'm hoping for New Year's.
Also, then we probably have February. 5 months is still less than 6, right?
Yeah. 5 months is less than 6. And now they're gonna talk about updates. Yeah.
Yup.
Oh boy.
For a console.
Yeah, I've lost. I don't care about Arch Tempered monsters anymore. Well, I didn't care that much originally, even when everybody else did.
I
speak for the casual audience, I guess.
Was mostly
I'm a casual
concerned
player.
about the layered armor, but apparently the layered armor is going to be Ryu. So, nothing.
Mods boil.
But they're not new armors. And it's just another armor that's not going to really change anything, but...
I mean, it improves a few sets. We haven't looked at it in a while. because they got leaked so long ago. But
Yeah, but like the armor meta in Monster Hunter World has pretty much plateaued.
yeah, they've dug themselves into a hole in terms of power creep, where we're like, okay, at this point we can add like 2 points of attack boost. Yay! Yeah, I mean, we literally can fit everything.
Most of the top sets are like the same skills. It's like crit boost, weakness, exploit. Yeah, it's like crit boost, weakness, exploit, attack up, and it's like that's like the main 3.
And 100% affinity. Like, it's just like there's the most we can really fit now is peak on non-handicraft required builds and agitator. For situational raw. So this is about it. We're out of skills to fit in builds at this point. Nod heads.
I like this is the kind of their subtle way to be like, hey, we made all this free content. I hope you'll continue to support us. Please, we work really hard. I think we deserve some money. And yes, you do. You do deserve some money.
Well, I think this was more like we've never expected for this game to take off the way it did, because historically Monster Hunter has never been the kind of game that takes off like it did this time. And they're just like, yeah, we made a lot of mistakes because we weren't expecting this.
It's always been a much more niche audience.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We thought we were going to get a little bit of Western audience, not this.
Yeah. Yeah. A good phrase from Super Bunny Hop is that Monster Hunter is kind of like Japan's Call of Duty.
Oh, yeah?
And, but it never really broke out as big as Call of Duty did. But, yeah, this is it. Like...
Happy hunting!
Stop killing Dodogama!
Oh, wait, I think there's like a
Yeah.
recap. Yeah, it plays the thing again.
Yeah, it plays it again.
Hey, do you hear that? Is it the wind?
They should have called it Monster Hunter World Return of the Guildmarm.
Singing?
There's a lot of Legianas.
Rise of Bigger Luke. Rise of Skywalker.
Now, something I thought was really interesting is he's got like a Kulu-Yaku scythe.
Yeah, he's got a Kulu-Yaku, pick.
Which I don't know if
thing,
that's
yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be a relevant piece of
Very
information or not, but I like her winter outfit.
Anyone else
Oh,
noticing
yeah.
how the teeth on that greatsword are facing the opposite direction if you actually wanted to stab into the monster? Like
Yeah.
based on swing angles?
What, they curve upwards instead of
Yeah,
downwards?
they curve upwards. You're hitting the monster with like the blunt side of
yeah.
the tooth, not the pointy bit.
Yeah, well.
Like they're angled as if you were going to thrust your greatsword into them.
Yeah, well, shut up.
It's hard designing. It's hard designing things.
Get out of
You
here!
designed
with your
something.
Logic.
What do you think of that? Yeah, I just invalidated your whole argument by insulting you. What do you think
Thanks,
of
internet. This is why I love Reddit.
that? Yeah. I mean, you may have a good point, but I just called you a puss, so what are you gonna do about it?
Oh my god, this is going to be so much fun.
Nothing. Oh, yeah.
I'm so hyped.
Me too, man.
Ooh.
Unidentified tracks are cropping up all over the new world.
Hey, Matt Mercer.
I can't,
Can't wait to hear them
these
all in
voice lines French.
Japanese. Because I'm a weeb.
Played in French?
Ever since the Witcher DLC, I play in French. It just sounds prettier.
Oh man, I can't wait to get sweeped a million times by that tail.
I can't wait to iframe every move.
Right? I mean, that's what I like about fast monsters is how
Yeah.
they don't have lingering hitboxes for the most part.
Yeah.
I can't wait
he
to
was-
iframe every move and then get so good at it, I run peak builds without health augment.
I think, yeah, Nargacuga is actually one of the few monsters that I could iframe in Classic Monster Hunter because his moves were fast, and he was actually good practice for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Diablos is good practice for guard pointing and blocks, but they function differently from rolls. Rolls have to avoid the entire hitbox, or iframes have to avoid the entire hitbox, while a block or a guard point simply has to make single contact and then the rest is avoided.
So here's your surprise.
Oh, that's a Tigrex. That's absolutely a Tigrex. I recognize that. I recognize that subtle ringing anywhere. That is, Tigrex is confirmed.
So I have a feeling in the next update they do, probably at E3 or whatever, they're gonna talk about Tigrex, and then they're gonna have like a fucking Rajang roll or something at the end.
Maybe. No, they're gonna have What's gonna happen?
'Cause last time
they're gonna come on stage. They're gonna put down a big Lagombi, and then they're gonna walk off stage, and then they'll win E3.
They will win E3.
Capcom, you win E3 if you
Give
show off
me
Lagombi.
Bun.
That's all
Give
I'm
me-
saying. Give me Bun. I want Bun. I
What-
want cute
what
outfits
Bun?
and cute weapons. Give me
Lol.
Bun.
That's
all I want.
Yeah.
Yes, very
So
excited.
yeah, excited.
Just
hype.
it's just gonna be
Yes.
so the,
Very hype. It's just gonna be a while.
Complete.
the terrible part is
Blind-
like we're
blind
gonna be,
fanboyism,
we are
selling out.
like
Yeah.
we have to buy it on PS4, right? But then we're gonna need to buy it on PC
Yeah, because
as
you
well. So
if you
we're
want to
gonna
get the
have buy it
info out.
twice.
Tax deduction. Hey, it's a business investment.
Tax deductions.
It's a business decision.
Yup. But yeah, it's definitely exciting, and I'm really glad to see all the changes. And I'm most importantly, I am glad to see that the scope is big.
Yes.
Because, like, if we're gonna have to wait
Yeah.
this long for it, the scope better damn well be big as fuck. It better be a big ass expansion. And it looks like they are doing a lot with that, so I'm just really hoping that, like, I've been talking for a while about how, like, my main issue with Monster Hunter right now is I'm out of content. Like, I fought every monster so many times with pretty much every weapon at this point, and except for Hunter Gorn. And like it's at the point where like I'm just out of stuff to do in it unless I want to take up speedrunning again, which I don't have the patience for that. But so like it's nice that we're gonna have a lot more monsters to fight, a lot more things to do with them. It's just I'm really hoping that outside of just the slinger changes, they do a lot with the changing up the movesets and potential playstyles for weapons, because like the reality is that for a lot of the players, they've already put in hundreds of hours on their main weapons, and yeah, it'll be nice to use those to fight new monsters, but having some options to switch things up would go a long way to extending like gameplay time.
Yeah. But wish lists for E3.
Lagombi.
Rajang.
Yeah, Lagombi, Rajang. For me, this one might
Oh,
be
yeah.
a little bit
No,
unreasonable,
I'm
but
hoping-
one more
they
area,
have-
one more hunting area. I wouldn't be too upset if we just get one, but I'd hope for another.
Well, they did say that this particular area is huge, and chunks of it get unlocked as you progress through the story. So
Right.
Something interesting that they said is
I still would like a
It's-
truly underground area. That would be cool.
they
but-
said
Kazoo.
this is the biggest area thus far. They didn't say the biggest area in Monster. This will be the biggest
Well,
area
yeah.
in Monster Hunter. They said it's the biggest area thus far. And I don't know if that's a translation error or if that was intentional.
Right. Well, I think that's not really anything to look into because it's just language that makes sense as a creator to say, like, you know, because they're gonna make more, obviously, more games, more Monster Hunters, maybe more expansions. That's an obvious thing. So they don't want to say this is the biggest area,
But I mean-
period. Because, you know, who knows? Maybe in the future they make one that's bigger. You know, they want to keep the language open.
But if you say this is the biggest area, this will be the biggest area in Monster Hunter World,
Wait,
it
it
almost
is?
sounds like they may maybe do another expansion. Maybe.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, with how well it's performing,
At one point, I swear they said that this was going to be the only
They
expansion.
want to keep this going for a while, for
Monster
sure.
Hunter. Like when they were teasing the Iceborne thing originally,
Hmm.
I almost want to say I think because I think we talked about it in the last podcast we did. I hope they kind of changed their mind
Maybe.
because you know
I hope not.
like this has been so successful. Yeah, it's been so successful.
I hope they build upon this, or Or if they make a quote unquote sequel or just another Monster Hunter, that they build upon this in a way like how fighting games do, where they make like an Ultimate Edition, where it's like a bunch of upgrades, but it's like an updated version of the game. Because I don't know because apparently there are still structural problems with the game that makes things difficult. For example, adding Leviathans. You know? So I'm sure that's a thing that they would have to rebuild from the ground up.
I'm honestly not opposed to after Iceborne there being a Monster Hunter World 2.
Me neither.
Because I feel like there's an issue a lot of games run into where they run into endgame creep, where like we already have a pretty big endgame in Monster Hunter World, and like we've talked to death in the past about, there's a huge issue with the level of power creep we currently have and how much further a new endgame can actually go past that. And I would not be opposed to, after this, as long as it's fairly soon afterwards, they have a Monster Hunter World 2. So you can start out again at base level with a different game, different environments, many returning monsters, new returning monsters, a different story, all of that, and then a new end game past that. Because I don't want Monster Hunter World to run into like the World of Warcraft issue where they just keep adding end game expansion upon end game expansion upon end game expansion upon end game expansion. And it reached a point where if you wanted to, you know, pick up the game yourself and play with your friends who are in the second or third level of end game, you have to grind hundreds of hours to be able to just play with them.
Yeah.
It's something that Jinx and I were talking about. They're going to need to either need to rebalance like all the armors or something, or add new skills or add new like levels of skills or something, because
add new caps to the skills.
The fact of the matter is that currently you can basically get everything you need in with Draken and, you know, just some other stuff. And we're talking like, even if you have like, say, the damage is increased in Iceborne from the monsters that require new armor pieces, otherwise you're just gonna one shot. The fact of the matter is there are people like me who will get to the point where they can iframe everything, never get hit, and if Draken is the best damage option at endgame Iceborne, I'll run Draken because I'm not going to get hit and I'll just do damage.
Yeah. And like, I will say, like, just to discuss the potential meta, for the potential like top level meta for sets and for damage in Iceborne, the thing I'm hoping to see is that they do increase the skill caps, and, you know, the Master Armor have simply higher efficiency, and hopefully they add in new skills, potentially returning old skills that are more effective, like Repeat Offender or something like that. And if that does become the case, where, you know, it does actually make the high rank end game armor obsolete and master rank is just better, then it'll create an interesting environment where we have a brand new paradigm of what actually qualifies as the meta. Because like in vanilla Monster Hunter World, the meta was protective polish high EFR builds, because before Draken existed, Master's Touch lost you too much damage to run. It wasn't worth running versus just running a polish build. There were also Handicraft 5 builds, because keeping white sharpness is very important. There were Handicraft 5 builds that also worked on shorter fights, and then after Luna came out, it was a Styx meta, because Styx had naturally 60 hits of white sharpness, plus you could fit peak performance agitated and have very high EFR with that. So a lot of damage. And then it became the Metahemoth meta, where it was just Master's Touch with every fucking damage skill you can imagine basically thrown in there. And it will create an interesting environment where the new meta may have some variety to it, where you may have like Master's Touch sets that deal slightly less damage, but you don't have to worry about sharpness ever, as opposed to like maybe Razor Sharp or Polish builds, or maybe they add in the Seregios armor weapon skill thing, where dodging increases your sharpness. So for certain weapons like dual blades on bow, or not bow, sorry, but for like dual blades or longsword, you can run relatively low sharpness combined with dodge to gain sharpness bonus. So I'm hoping that there is power creep of a significant level in Iceborne, because it means that we can not have this stale meta we have right now.
I just want my grapple moves. just I'm gonna take a nap, guys. Wake me up when it's September.
Yeah, the grapple's super sick.
Wake me up when September starts.
Wake me up inside.
Wake me up, Miss Piggy, when Monster Hunter. Wake me up inside when Monster Hunter World Iceborne releases.
Can't wake up.
Can't wake up.
Can't wake up. Wake me up and save me. Save me from this dark
All right, I think I think that's a sign that we've talked about what we need to talk about. Yeah, buy low, sell high. Subscribe to me.
That's what we got. We're done with the video.
If you enjoyed the content, make sure to check out Jocat on his channel. We'll have a link in that in the description. We will be covering more Iceborne content as it comes out. We'll hopefully be looking for something at E3, maybe some new monsters, some new details.
I will, not you.
Maybe a solid release of a PC Iceborne date.
Yep.
That'd be cool. But
Yippers, and that's why Tuna makes it the bigger buckles.
Thanks for checking out the video, guys, and holy shit, if you actually made it here and you watched the whole thing, thank you so much.
And an especially big thank you to Jocat for joining us on this. He's a really fun guy to banter with. Be sure to check out his channel over in the description. These podcast-style videos are really fun for us to do and take a surprising amount more editing than I thought they would. So don't expect them too often, but we'll definitely be doing more of them in the future. If you enjoyed hearing our opinions on the developer's update, be sure to like the video and leave a comment telling us which little tidbit you enjoyed the most. As always, thank you to Honey for making the tools we use to make sets with. No builds in the video, but still we'd like to show our appreciation. If you want to talk about any of these subjects with Tuna or I, be sure to check out our Discord server, the Mathalos Nest. We're both fairly active and love talking with fans. And be sure to check out our Twitter where we post updates about all of our videos as well as just random things that interest us. Be sure to check out Tuna on Twitch. He does stream Monster Hunter World and a bunch of different games almost every day. And if you enjoy our content and want to help support us with bringing it out, be sure to check out our Patreon. And an especially big thank you to Foray, Exponage, David Sternberg, XCLK07, Hiker, Milky Powder, Yoshi Cho, John Cohen, Lithoboli, Robin, Bram Orsel, Chris Porth, Lightweight, McPersona, Skylar Yang, Checkleman, Lupin, Mongus, Zimv, Billy Barthol, Lord Sirone, Rodolph Charlot, Reaper Time, Jamie, and every single one of you who supports us on Patreon. You help save us from the YouTube algorithm and help keep this channel alive, so thank you so much. Anyway, we do have plenty more videos on the way, guys. We have our ATDB sets coming out very soon, some ATKT content, and of course some Arch Tempered Nerg content. But I only have so much time in the day, and editing takes quite a bit of that. Either way, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to know about our videos the moment they come out. Anyway, that's all we got for you guys. Happy hunting, hunters.
Jocat, you got to buy with us.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for being here, Jocat. Bye.